A Dating Guide 3. Chapter 1. A Dating Guide 1. Why is dating so hard? My life is easy after watching bestgore.com. I think the biggest thing is to relax and know you're not one of those people on bestgore.com. You go out. You don't particularly like the person. You say bye. That's not hard. Is he or she attracted to me? Should I play it safe or make a move and risk rejection? There are obvious come-ons and subtle ones. If someone asks you for a drink, that means obvious interest. If someone looks deeply into your eyes and talks to you, that could be just some nerd talking to you. There is no exact science to knowing if someone fancies you. On top of that, people play at love. They lead people on and flirt with no intention of following through. You can read true attraction in body language and facial expression, but when you ask, people say no because maybe they're messed up, married or not monogamous by nature, so they don't want to start something that will end up doomed. You can use a go-between to find out if he's interested. The easiest way to lessen possible rejection is to invite a person out for something casual, like me and my friends are going to some bar or some place like that. Do you wanna come? Steps of the courtship dance. The steps of the courting dance are: first look. Eye contact longer than with normal people we're not attracted to. Smile. Talk or gesture. If the other person is attentive, it moves up a notch. If not, it's over. As potential lovers talk, their bodies gradually turn towards each other. They lean in and open their bodies. A light touch. More eye contact over the face and body. Synchronization, they move in synchronicity with each other. They imitate each other. It's not really this clear-cut because most of us don't come across stunningly beautiful people we're attracted to all the time, so you might see someone you like then go through this courtship process in a half-assed manner, focusing more on the guy's ability as a breadwinner than his personality. When you talk, start off casually. Don't try too hard to force it. Notch up the intimacy little by getting more personal in talking about yourself. There's too much psychobabble out there for the courtship dance. If you sense someone likes you, you're fine as long as you're not arrogant about it. If you sense ambivalence, don't waste your time. Finding a mate/lover is about putting yourself out there. All single people who want love have to get out in public, be chatty, make moves. You will be rejected. Have a thick skin. Don't rely on dating websites. Find people who live near you. Go easy on social media because dates check. People you might date are going to check you out on social media. Truly cool people live their lives. They're not narcissist flakes posting a bunch of crap up online. I'm an older guy, but I don't think age has anything to do with it. Social media to me smacks of losers with nothing else to do, posting a bunch of junk online to try to get likes, shares and followers. Shut the computer off and get a real life. Chapter 2. A Dating Guide 2. Biggest mistake, self-centered overanalysis. People think too much. They overanalyze and try to analyze what the date is thinking. Just be yourself. Try to enjoy the experience for what it is: too lonely, average people looking to alleviate some of their existential loneliness. Nobody's perfect. Life is not a perfect TV show. How much do you probe your new lover about their past? It's mildly cute to talk about your pasts and want to get to know each other, but I don't care about my past and I don't want to talk about it because it's done and I live in the present. I was reading some dating advice blog somewhere where they said everyone wants to know as much as possible about a potential partner. I say no. Don't be too nosy. A lot of guys don't like to talk about the past because it's done. It means nothing now. If you don't trust the guy, get a background records check done, but don't plaster him with interrogation-like questions. Soul then love. Do you fall in love because you feel fulfilled as an individual and ready to try this great adventure, or because you feel you're deficient in your life alone? You must first come to terms with yourself, then you can let people in, offer them love and have it returned it to you. Love, at its best, is all about chemistry regardless of psychological health or station in life. However, I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't inject my own personal life story in here, which is that I ran away from love and refused to commit until I was able to see the world, find my identity and have enough money that I wouldn't have to worry about engagement rings, cars or baby food. In my book about my life as a free spirit, I harangue on about my soul and identity because this is the way I lived my life for 40 plus years on this planet. Despite all the brainwash of the world, a truly enlightened person seeks to find his soul, live by it and earn his living from it. Soul is all you ever got anyway, you with your connection or lack of it with who you really are in your deepest essence. If you can find your soul, culture it to a worthy level, then earn money from it. The next logical step is to find a worthy soulmate equal to share it with. Don't fall in love while you're a half-assed, nobody without a clue. Run away from it until you know what's going on and got some money in the bank. If you fall in love in high school, wait until you get a marketable skill before you settle down, regardless of whether you're male or female, unless you find somebody rich who you can marry then suck in at divorce court 3 years later. Ultimately, I don't believe in love until you get the proverbial hero's journey out of your system. Do everything out there you wanted to do within your limited budget, exploring both the world and yourself. Once it's all done and you converge to your soul, spend some time on it, culturing it to become a master in your chosen areas of interest. Then after you've done it to your satisfaction, made some money from it and are on your way, you're ready for love if that's what you want, which some people never do because they're stuck on either holding onto their sense of inspired vitality and or exploring the varied adventures of life forever. Spiritual mating info. The only relevant point is, are you two joined together spiritually? Love is nurturing another's soul. It's an extension of your spiritual love for life. Soulmates feel an intense sense of connectedness from the moment they meet. They feel comfortable together. Love as soul is a partnership between equals for a great, happy life together, doing things, sharing their lives with each other. Relationships are a direct result of you, the person. It's how much you try, not necessarily the other person, although there are poison people around, but the usual trend is that you blame the other for problems when the problem is that you're an incomplete person, hence a self-centered, trivial little jerk. Until you can get enlightened enough to be yourself fully and love out of the goodness you feel in your soul about life, you will never be a truly great lover. Even though many people in our society live for materialism, there are some people out there who live for soul. They do practical things to attend to their material needs, but in their souls, they're spiritual and romantic by nature. The inner glow is that piece of you left over from childhood that has managed to survive through all the crap in the world. It's that divine spark that God gave you when you were born that made you one of His special, unique creations, an innocent, pure baby with no sin, no ugliness, and just unbridled curiosity, beauty and love for the world. It's all about how much you can hold onto your beautiful soul despite all the crap in the world. Many people lose some or all of this inner glow as they go through life for various reasons, ranging from a bad childhood to the stress of survival to selling their souls to imposters like money, wealth, fame, status, ego, power, etc. All of these things may give you titillation or happiness for a season, but in the end, they will leave you empty because they're not intrinsically part of your divine soul and do nothing to develop you as a worthy human being within yourself and within anyone else for that matter. Your soul could be repressed and covered up by any of a number of things like anger, guilt, fear, ego, greed, hate, conquest, unresolved conflicts like divorce or abandonment in childhood, deluded fantasies about love, betrayal, wounds, battle scars, indoctrination from others, boredom with life, cynicism, and the list goes on. Through all these problems, you may have developed subconscious, negative self-defeating ways of coping with life. You may have lost your soul so much that now you're a brainwashed clone living out some capitalist fantasy which is far away from your true simple nature. It's like some woman who buys herself 100 pair of shoes or some guy who measures his worth by the size of his bank account, buys a big car, Armani suits, and cool sunglasses, then goes driving around smoking cigars feeling like he belongs on the cover of Forbes magazine. They're lost souls who have lost the essence of what their lives should be. To top it all off, our society has an over-obsession with the body. We're consumed with food, exercise, cosmetic surgery, makeup, etc., all in the pursuit of physical beauty, which is an empty impostor for the true beauty of the soul. Most people can sense a China doll or an egotistical muscle head right off. To those of you who don't know, a China doll is a porcelain figurine that's all painted up and made to look beautiful on the outside, but there's nothing on the inside. People who obsess with their bodies generally judge themselves harshly, hence, they're doomed to a superficial life of vanity where they will never be satisfied with themselves, not to mention that they probably have the warmth of a dead fish. To me, spiritual mating is to be true to yourself. Develop your soul to manifest the seed/potential that your God placed into when you were born. Only when you get to the level where you're close to your inner, intuitive, inherent standard, are wise enough to know that staying inspired by constantly doing your worthy soulful pursuits day after day is the key to life, and get a joy out of living your life this way as a natural flow of pure energy streaming out from you in positive activities. Are you ready for true, pure love? When you live like this, you have a natural happiness and peace within yourself. Other people can sense it, and your soulmates, people who think like you, look like you and live this way too, are looking for someone like them, someone who knows that the release of their natural inspiration through worthy intense activities is one of the few elixirs of life. Another elixir is to find someone who thinks like you, this noble, free, bohemian creative being who was able to get past all that capitalist brainwash out there to be who they really are and share in this great, glorious elixir of life, that of true, pure love, a meeting of souls, kindred spirits, two souls in one, soulmates who understand each other, know each other, feel for each other and share their lives together. To my way of thinking, the constant release of your natural inspired potential is one elixir of life. Soulmate and kindred spirit love is another, and the third is the sensual dimension, doing things to make you feel good for the sheer joy and beauty of them, both by yourself and with others including your soulmate. This to me is the definition of a great life, becoming a whole human being. I believe in those instantaneous vibes I get whenever I meet a new person or see somebody for the first time. To me, spiritual mating is to live your own life following your own standard and getting out in public enough such that you're constantly exposed to new, different people. You're approachable because you have an aura about yourself of peace and happiness with living your life as is. You don't have to dress sexy and provocative, you just have to be yourself. You don't have to put forth a fake image. You've got nothing to prove to anyone but yourself. Your soul and ego are one. You are who you are without airs, and that's it. You do whatever it is you do out there, and then on some day when you least expect it, you see your soulmate, he or she sees you, and that's it. You both know and consume it shortly after that. It's not an aggressive thing where you're on the hunt all the time or go out on dates with people you feel less than 100% for. You don't waste your time on that unless you want to practice to keep from getting rusty, but it's bad karma to date people who have serious intentions about possible love with you while you don't have serious intentions with them. You simply live your life, trying to be the best you can be by expending your intense natural, inspired energy all the time. This keeps you young, free and strong. When you meet a worthy soulmate equal, you'll both know it. It will feel natural and intuitive. You don't go looking for another person. You look for yourself. When you find it and live it out, you're being true to your essence. From then on it's like Rumi said, you don't go out looking for your soulmate. Your soulmate lives inside of you already. When you bring your soul up to a worthy vibe, you're sending the signal out that you're an enlightened, cool person, and when your soulmate sees you for the first time, she'll know. She'll be ready for you too, because she was culturing her soul, waiting for the guy that lived inside of her, her soulmate. You both immediately feel as if you had always known each other. You want to be together. In fact, you feel you must. It's part of your collective destiny. You shouldn't stop what you naturally feel inside. I can't imagine any other way to fall in love. It's either this way or nothing at all. I don't understand how the capitalists fall in love, if it's true love the way I think true love is, or if it's some limited delusion of love. I can't imagine people without aesthetic souls, souls that live for beauty, truth, inspiration, and perfection, falling in love in the true sense of the word. Unless you have this sensual orientation, where are your concepts of striving for the beauty and transcendence in life as a constant lifestyle, including the realm of romance? How can a capitalist be romantic about life if he thinks in terms of dollars, cents, and material things? Is his wife a friend to share life with, or a business expense bought for the social status of accompanying him to corporate functions? This is why pop culture, materialistic, status-oriented girls do nothing for me in the deepest recesses of my soul. I can be sexually attracted to almost any female with a slim body and some breasts regardless of her face, but I feel no cosmic connection with the socially brainwashed ones aspiring for fashion nirvana. For love, I need some bohemian free spirit with her own visions, which are to live free and strong in some primordial Garden of Eden like enlightened primitives in a world of our own creation, away from all this crap that makes up the so-called modern world. This is my basic vision of aesthetic beauty and soulmate love. In capitalist love, you're looking for somebody you can show off to your friends and family, a wallet, a set of big boobs and slash or a pretty face, somebody with a nice car and a decent job, somebody who's attractive enough to inspire your sexual fantasies. In spiritual mating, you're looking for somebody who sends a lightning bolt to your soul and you to theirs, somebody you feel a natural inclination to care for, somebody who thinks like you, somebody who you have a natural romantic, open friendship with, somebody who you feel at home with, somebody you feel a wholesome, intuitive attraction to. I can't stop until I come across a girl who has also come to this vision on her own, unlike the regular girl who dreams of walking down a catwalk or red carpet with everybody marveling at how beautiful and thin she is, living in this media-created fantasy called glamour. This is a vision borrowed from the pop culture, capitalist world. Unless you have the strength and originality to create your own visions and live by them as best as you can, forget it. You'll never be truly enlightened as an individual, nor will you ever find a true, great, glorious love, simply because you're too brainwashed and limited to realize what your own visions of love are, as opposed to romantic love being defined for you by your culture. Soulmates desire life. Soulmates seek to live together in a paradise of their own creation. Feel good about themselves as individuals and as a couple. Cherish one another. Are affectionate and caring. Each have inner and outer beauty. Constantly strive to understand themselves as individuals and as a couple. Expose their true souls to one another by communicating their thoughts and sharing their lives together. Enjoy each other's company. Are loving and considerate to each other. Are open to each other. Respect each other. Each have personal boundaries which the other person doesn't cross. Love nature and animals. Have patience and love when times are hard. Live together as equals. Don't try to outdo one another in the ego game of life. Feel as though they have a divinely inspired connection to each other. Accept each other as is with love, without criticism or judgment. There are no power struggles. They can compromise and solve disagreements because they intuitively know that everything is trivial next to both the inspired power in their souls and their love for one another. Psychic Seduction Info /Neurolinguistic Programming /NLP. As hokey as it sounds, there are people selling ebooks on the internet claiming that they have advanced mental techniques that you can use to get other people to become not just attracted to you but infatuated with you. To me it's a joke, but I'm sure they get some suckers buying their books. They claim to base it on some psychobabble called Neurolinguistic Programming /NLP. The story goes like this. Envision yourself stepping into a room exuding charisma. You are naturally endowed with mental powers that subconsciously draw others to you. Strengthen your ability to think and use your thoughts to shape reality. It's all about invisible frequencies and vibrations you and everyone else gives off. From here, the pitch goes into that law of attraction crap. Thought creates reality. Thought can influence the minds of others. Your brain functions like a receiver. Everything around you emits frequencies that can be measured and charted. You attracted people who are on your wavelength. The Schumann resonance theory points out that the Earth's magnetic field vibrates at a steady 7.83 Hz tone. If you can lower your frequencies to this level, you tune into the vast supply of life energies on the planet. Imagine the person you wish to influence. Imagine being romantic and erotic with him or her. Supposedly you're sending this message out through the ether. Somebody trademarked the term dynamic visioning, TM, to describe this. I call it mental sex. It's what I do when I wank off. When you see someone you like, say come to me in your mind. Think love. I come across snake oil salesmen and delusional people all the time. I'm amazed that in this day and age, we still have plenty of both of these types of people around. Neurolinguistic programming is a pseudo-new age/psychotherapy method that uses hypnosis to supposedly enhance life by changing the conscious and subconscious beliefs of patients. It's used for motivation, relaxation to help stop smoking, lose weight, decrease stress, increase self-esteem, lower chronic pain and more. Neurolinguistic programming was developed by Richard Bandler and John Grinder. To me, this is a good example of psychobabble gone mad. They come out with this fancy-sounding name, shroud it in all kinds of complicated, advanced-sounding discourse, then try to sell it as the latest, cutting-edge science of the mind, when the truth is that you are who you are by nature. You think intuitively. No psychobabble in the world can touch this or change it. Neurolinguistic Programming/NLP websites. NFNLP.com, National Federation of Neurolinguistic Programming. ANLP.org, Association for Neurolinguistic Programming. BBNLP.com, Worldwide Organization. Neurolinguistic.com. Podium-NLP.com, Neurolinguistic Programming, Clinical Hypnosis and Accelerated Learning Strategies. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/neurolinguistic_programming. NLP.com. NLP.net, Neurolinguistic Programming. NLP.org. NLPanchorpoint.com, Neurolinguistic Programming. NLPco.com, 800-233-1 NLP, Neurolinguistic Programming. NLPinfo.com. NLPlinks.com. Chapter 3. A Dating Guide 3. Lost Soul Love. Most movies to me are pop culture crap, disposable images about some unreal world that supposedly cool people are living in, but once in a while there's a clever gem in the mist. One such movie that starts off kind of rough is My First Mr., 2001. At first blush, it seems like another Disney-esque fish-out-of-water story. There's this messed up, gothic, piercing-laden teenage girl and a kindly 49-year-old clothing store owner who senses the need in her and gives her a job. At first, it seems like it's just gonna be a silly movie where he enters her world and does stupid things like get a tattoo, etc. And she meets him halfway by becoming more mainstream, but the film is much deeper than that. They each reveal to each other that they're lost souls, or at least living their lives alone, and they're not really happy, which is quite rare in movies in general, to see one that is real for a change. This led me to think of one way that people fall in love. If you get two people that are relatively sad and lonely, each with problems, sometimes in life they find each other and this transforms them. If you're feeling down and blue, you may come across somebody feeling like you, and you sense the need and vulnerability in them which is similar to yours. This could be your ticket to love. It seems more real than putting on a phony happy face and pretending you're something you're not. Sexual underperception bias/sexual overperception bias. You think I'm sexy? No, I don't. I was being friendly to get a bigger tip. Many guys think any friendly girl is interested and wants a date, even at restaurants and bars where the waitresses are fighting for tips. Many women play coy and pretend they're not interested even when they are. It's sad. Why can't you be yourself? If you like someone, let it show. Are you flirting or just being friendly? You never really know if someone is flirting with you. I had some great bombs before I said screw them all. I'm not gonna played by some chick who talks to me first, gives me seductive glances, acts sexy, then when I ask her out, she says no. It's a game some women play for ego. It's the same as rejecting guys on Tinder and other dating websites. The best thing to do is ask straight out. Other serious indicators are: does she get close to you? Does she look and act like you? Never, ever assume that a waitress or bartender is seriously flirting with you. She deals with dozens of men every day. She knows how to get bigger tips. Attractability, how to look good. I think it's in the face. When I first saw the 1939 movie The Wizard of Oz as a kid, when I saw the wizard's face, my first thought was that he has a friendly face. It's true. Some people have friendly faces and a soft glow about their clothes, look, etc. Most people don't. Try to look happy, good-hearted, friendly, Christian-like. Work out. Exercise. Go outdoors almost every day to get some sunshine and fresh air. Eat healthy foods. Wear decent clothes. Wash yourself. Use scents to smell nice. Make your facial expression pleasant. Don't smile like a goof but be pleasant. Frustration attraction. Attracted to someone because they don't like you, more psychobabble BS. Suppose you don't like someone. Because of that, they're more attracted to you and pursue you more. This is what Dr. Helen Fisher says. Even if you don't like someone that much, if you find out she doesn't like you or people are telling you to dump her, you suddenly want her more. These kinds of relationships could literally become an addiction where you do crazy things, you wait all night by the phone or even join in dangerous behaviors. Some people are attracted to the emotionally unavailable partner. Others may be seeking the excitement. This is another example of phony experts trying to analyze things. If you ever read even a few academic articles in social science or real science journals, you realize they've gone mad. It's a matrix of people pretending to be smart and advanced. The irony is that if you were really smart and advanced, you would see past all this bullshit and either fight it or refuse to deal with it, which would put you out of job. That's the problem with the social sciences academia. It's all bullshit. Life is ultimately simple. You either live by your own true nature or you're a brainwashed asshole. You deal with people one-on-one. You don't buy into any categories or any other psychobabble. BS. psychologytoday.com/article/champions the lost cause. chemistry.com/dating-advice/romantic chemistry helenfisher.com/download/article/17brockyheart.pdf. Chapter 4. A Dating Guide 4. The Psychological Health Debate. I don't subscribe to all the psychobabble out there about the formula for the ideal love affair. People are a magical chemistry of emotions, and when the right two meet, the chemistry can be enough to do something to them to change them in a drastic way. Go easy on the formula approach to love. Love is magic and it can do magical things to people, or, more correctly, it can make people do magical things and metamorphosize into bigger, better, and more beautiful versions of themselves unprompted without the psychobabble part of the deal. I believe that the best lovers are people with their own identities who know themselves, but at the same time, I believe that love can change anybody and conquer all, meaning that I've seen bums and generic guys completely change and become honest, respectable, responsible people when they met the right girls. That's the way I see it. Love can give you the shot of inspiration to become a much better version of your current, mundane self. I don't believe that you have to be psychologically healthy to find love. Two lonely, messed up people can come together and find love. Two people can become better than themselves as individuals through love. I've seen it, so if you're feeling down and happen to meet someone, They could have something inside of them that has that certain kind of magic to connect with you and transform you into a stellar, loving, strong, inspired and giving person. So don't despair if you're not exactly a striking example of a psychologically healthy person. Somebody out there may be just looking to save somebody like you and you, them. You could both inspire each other enough to become a dynamic, happy couple. We're all a little flawed. Let's not analyze love and compatibility all to death in our search for the formula, because there is none. I say if you really feel it strongly, go for it. You're intelligent and know what you want. If it fails, try again. You can't necessarily approach people with a checklist in your hand. You can go out with them, then analyze them for their potential, but ultimately, keep it real by going with your gut instinct. Stay basic. There was a documentary on TV about some homeless guy who the system tried to tame by bringing him to a halfway house, a group home out in the country, getting him jobs, etc. But he always rebelled and went back to sleeping in abandoned train tunnels. Then one day, about 5 years after the documentary filmmaker met this guy and profiled him, he saw the guy working a respectable job, going to school to be an EMT, emergency medical technician. He went over, curious as to what made the guy change after the system failed several times. The guy said he met a girl, he couldn't very well invite her back to his train tunnel, so he cleaned himself up. So that's it, the right guy or girl will help you wise up and get serious about life. The rescue complex. I've noticed that some people are givers or rescuers. They look into someone's eyes and see a need to be rescued and loved, so they fall head over heels with a lost soul. It happens all the time. It happened to me. I fell for a girl because I was taken by her beauty and vulnerable naivety at the same time. She was a nice person, but she was terrible at making her way in the world and paying her bills, so I tried to rescue her, but eventually found out that you can't rescue people, they have to rescue themselves, and she couldn't because of her drug addiction, so she was on the road to self-destruction the last time I talked to her, but there was nothing I could do. It had to be her choice. If I kept bailing her out with money and a place to stay, she would have just coasted along with me while doing her smack until she either died in my place or did something stupid. I gave her some money and told her I didn't want to see her unless she was straight. If you ever find yourself trying to rescue someone, take an extra long look at them before you fall head over heels. You could be fighting a losing battle. Some people play out the role of helpless victim and leave a bevy of broken hearts in their wakes. An ugly guy says how he scored. He's a DJ, disc jockey. He's got a mobile DJ service, which is a van where he keeps his stereo/laptop full of songs, his speakers, microphone, etc. He gets booked to play at wedding, parties, and other events. He's the cool guy there. He makes money, gets free drinks, tons of people with song requests and single women at these events who talk to him and dance with him. Every local area needs a mobile DJ. Set up a free website at wix.com. The problem with everyone under 40 in the dating game. They all think they're going to meet a wonderful, fantastic person, but they don't exist except on TV in fiction. Most people under 40 simply do not experience in real life enough to figure it out yet that your day-to-day life is as good as it gets. You create your life in your mind regardless of surroundings. Young people want everything in a relationship, like a super clean, rich, funny, handsome, pretty, fit, slim, smart, creative individual. Where?